Live!
Mercury Retrograde begins, and how many days are in March? 31. So in 2 to 3 days. All right, I'm not doing the math. Mercury Retrograde. That's some of Mercury Retrograde stuff, huh? Mercury Retrograde begins on April 1st. Now understand, I need something's echoing. My phone, maybe. Now understand that.
Yes.
I'm about to stop this echo. Okay, cool. Thank you. Is it still going? I had echo?
Do you have Stranger?
I don't know. All right, so Mercury Retrograde is beginning. Oh my God, that's so annoying. Just cancel. Close everything. Close all apps.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. All right, so cool. Forgive me. Look at some Mercury Retrograde. How many times did I repeat that? The shadow began from March 18th. And this is a key indicator that we must look at what has been already happening and understand that the official retrograde will start its motion April 1st. Now, Mercury retrograde will end April 24th, but the shadow period will continue to go until May 13th. So I'm going to try to write those things down because those things will be very important. Now, what's beautiful about this retrograde is it's going to be in Aries, it's going to stay in Aries. Okay, it's not going to go back into Pisces. It's not going to go into Taurus. It's going to all be about the baby. Okay, what's also important is this is going to happen while we have the solar eclipse going in Aries. Okay, so there's a new moon while Mercury in Aries will be retrograded. This is huge. You're going to see a lot of X's come back, whether it's just in your mind, whether it's in your actual physical atmosphere in your text messages.
That's why I deleted them.
Boom. This morning, literally, I just went ahead and deleted so many WhatsApp messages starting from 2021. And I had a lot of media and data in there. Now, if I show you this on screen, okay, understand that when we do a forecast for all 12 zodiac signs, the ruler of Mercury in Aries is the 3rd house and the 6th house. So this is all of our friends, our communications, you know, the people you're connected with on Facebook, the people you're connected with on Instagram. But that's all the people you've collected. Information, data, words, behaviors, skill sets, the way you sell, the way you're scared to sell and afraid to sell. Thank you for the thumbs up. I do see you. I appreciate that. All of these themes are reaching the 6th house, which is about getting rid of each one of those unnecessary steps, each one of those unnecessary connections, each one of those unnecessary behaviors that you've developed from your wounds, from not respecting yourself in an interaction with any one of your internet friends, as well as from the information that you've been sitting on. And I'm getting hermit card energy. Do you have your tarot cards? We're pulling tarot cards today for each sign. All right. So do understand that. I see some comments that already came in. Let me check what's going on. All right. What's up, Divine Rights? Good to see it. All right. A lot of people. So now understand that Aries is a relationship sign. Meaning what? That our clients are going to start coming back, whether in real life or whether just in your mind on how can I respect myself? How did I respect myself? How did I not respect myself? How did a client or a lover disrespect me? How did I allow that disrespect? And you're going to start to understand that each one of these steps, you either allowed it or it just didn't happen the way you remember it. Okay? So when I say allowed it, what I mean is, did you set the boundary? These are going to be the wounds that are going to basically rise once again to say, did I set the boundary? Was I afraid to say what I know I needed to say what was on my heart? If I was afraid, did I go at it anyways? If I went at it anyways, then I was courageous. If I didn't go at it, hey, look at that celebration. It's time to celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. If I did not go at that fear and actually say, because if you look on the screen, you see, my bad. If you look on the screen, you'll see that it's 3rd house. So this is the courage to say what's on your mind, to say your true and authentic thoughts. This is why Mercury in Aries is all about truth and honesty, because it's in the 3rd house, saying it pretty objectively, like a Gemini, blurting it out, who doesn't yet have the energy and the ability to slow down what it's saying rather than to say what instinctually feels right to its heart, what instinctually feels right in the mind, what instinctually feels right in the physical body. And that's a part of that 6th house where your judgment, your discernment, all these things might be very cut, dry humor. And the 6th house really helps us with that. Virgo helps us with that discernment to say, look, this may be cut, this may be dry, but it's just honest. It's just the truth. And I found this fault within my ego. And that's what the sixth house is about. So you're going to find all the faults in your ego responses, all the faults in the way you reacted and overreacted, that you reacted with anger, that you reacted with rage, that you reacted with very hot, intense emotion when you said what you said, and the ways in which you hurt people, the ways in which you cut people up, the ways in which other people cut you up, the ways in which other people cut you down in order to basically soothe their own insecurity in the moment. But what happens when Mercury goes retrograde, crossing with Chiron, all of these cuts, all these wounds on the battlefield, they're actually in the process of coming back right now, and you're going to start to get a very clear technical analysis and outlook on each one of these interactions, because Aries is a technical sign. Third house is a technical house. Sixth house is a technical house, meaning there's not going to be much blur. And the fact that we have, and I got to make sure we show this up as I get Eileen to pull the overall energy for this Mercury in Aries, conjunct Chiron in Aries, you're going to notice that Mars in Pisces is ruling everything Aries related right now. So you have to understand that Pisces is about long-term, forever healing solutions where you end the karma entirely. You literally unravel yourself at each and every one of the seams to the core of your being and your soul expression. This is what Mars wants us to act on. And it is very dualistic in the sign of Pisces, meaning you're going to be a little bit crazy with this. You're going to feel this way and you're going to feel the complete opposite. And you know, like,
well, why did you put like
tell me about the Pisces. I didn't even do it on purpose. Tell us how that could really play out. And so she's going to pull a card. She's going to pull an overall energy for Mercury in Aries, conjunct Chiron in Aries. That's an overall arcing energy of what we're all going through. Look at her shining. Look at you shining. You shining in the sunlight. Look at her forehead. Look at her skin. Look at her smile. She like, hair looking good. And a little shake. All right. So go ahead. Let us hear what's the overall arcing energy of this transit as I move a little further. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here. I do appreciate you. Vote in the YouTube chat.
So we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. So the Knight is a very junk energy, and it's in cups, so it has to do everything with emotions. So it's literally repercolating all of these things that we didn't look at in the past. So they're coming out right now to see how we're going to deal with them in the present moment. If we learn the lesson, if we can move forward. So as this is like did we already talk about the conjuncting Chiron part, or?
Yeah, go ahead, get into it.
And so Chiron is about the wounds. So this is specifically talking about the wounds on oneself. How these people, how these relationships, we allow them to hurt us. And now, how are we dealing with that right now? How are we getting to these new relationships? Or if we're still in an old relationship, how did we evolve, if we evolved? So this is all a moment of reflection of how these things are helping us to become a better version of ourselves. And so this energy is telling me that we're moving past this junk energy into the evolved form of how we deal with emotions, how we deal with our own emotions. If we pull them aside, if we take our time, if we journal about it, if we talk to the other person, like all of these things, how are we taking care of ourselves, of these wounds, and how that reflects on our relationships? Are they healthy now? What are we looking for? How are we dealing with the problems, if there's any? How are we dealing with the people that we don't really want to have near to us? Like all of these things are important in how we deal with this new version of ourselves.
Cool. So I'm going to give them some quick remedies, and I'm going to have you pull a card following what I'm saying about the remedies that might help them support from the esoteric side. Okay. I'm going to try to give you some practical remedies. Hit a timestamp on remedies, quote unquote. All right. And everybody else, hit the thumbs up while you're here. Okay. So I didn't type this yet, but I'm just going to type remedies. All right. Because I've been looking to just stay very objective and remedy. I don't know how to spell remedies. I'm just going to spell remedy. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to put a fire sign. Bam. So here we go. We have remedies. I'm going to talk remedies for this because Chiron is about healing, right? So remedy number one, all right, fire. Literally burn old letters from exes. Burn old offer letters that you had from a previous job. Burn that offer letter if you know it's out of alignment, you know it's out of sync, you know it's already past its energy that it supported you. You got paid, you're not working there anymore. burn that offer letter. Okay. Any form of written expression, reread these things before you do. Now that's going to be the hard part, but you're not going to see beyond the delusion while Mars is in Pisces. You won't see beyond the delusion, and if you refuse to see beyond the illusion, and you're not going to move forward in your fated process with your karmic journey. So read the letter before you burn it to see, what was this about? Okay, it's like, okay, wow, I have a letter right here. This is not what I'm going to burn. This is actually a positive letter, but I have a letter right here, which is magically here. So it's me taking the time to actually read this letter and go, okay, bam, bam, bam. All right. I then see, how do I feel about this? I understand 4 or 5 years later, when I read this letter, what are the emotions that I'm feeling now? How did I not really realistically see what was being said before? How did I miss the control? How did I miss the manipulation? How did I miss the wordplay that's actually getting me to say and feel something else that actually wasn't true to me in the moment? When that happens and you start feeling a gut feeling that just doesn't feel right, and you start feeling sick, you feel queasy, this is a good sign that you burn that letter. So that's why we have this fire in the background. Okay, this is called Homa. Burn that letter with the intention to purify and cleanse. Now, second, burn your body. Go and get sun. Okay, I realized that a couple weeks ago I had sunburns on my arms. What are the arms? Gemini. What did I say was Aries? Okay, Aries and Mercury is ruling what house? Boom. One of the houses is the third house. So my arms literally had sunburn. I was like, I don't even remember having sunburn before. Go literally burn your body. Okay, burn your feet. Go walk on the asphalt, let your feet burn. Or if not that, you don't have to burn them, but you can use a burning motion, meaning exfoliate your feet, exfoliate your skin, and let that become the friction when you're exfoliating against your skin that allows you to let go of that snake. Okay, to let go of that skin, to allow the rejuvenation process. So especially with the feet, because Mars is in Pisces. So exfoliate your feet, all right, and make sure you do that. So different remedies that I have now. Do you have any on the top of your head?
Damn, I was thinking of the sage.
Sage.
But putting it like super, super close.
Okay. Yes. So we did this last night. Light some sage up, but like you said, put it very close to your skin where you actually start to feel the heat, you feel the fire. So they do this in acupuncture, for example. They put the flame really, really close to your feet. They put it really, really close to your skin. So you need to actually be able to feel the fire. And when you hear a little spark, that lets you know that something was definitely dead or toxically draining and poisoning you in that moment or in that area of your body. So recognize what area. If it was your knee, Capricorn. If it was your hands, Gemini. If it was your genitals, Aries and Scorpio. Okay, if it was your ass, Scorpio. Right. So understand where that spark went down. All right, when you're burning things. So fire is a tremendous thing. But don't forget that the sun is one of the best sources of cleansing and protective energy. You can heal anything in the sun. Okay, so go get some sunlight. The spring is here. You're coming out of that winter depression, that seasonal depression. All right, what do you have for us as for esoteric side of remedies?
Wow.
All right.
I actually have a very positive card. This is the Ten of Pentacles. I actually think that it appeared last time that we had a forecast too. And this card is all about, like, I don't understand what the actual remedy is, because maybe it's look at the legacy, look at the family, put your, like, building the wealth. Like, this is a very positive card. It is all about, like, not only having a lot of money, not only having abundance in a lot of things. It's also about building the legacy. It's also about your family. And it can go up and down. Like, if you have kids, with your kids, or if you have with your parents or grandparents, maybe talking to them. So it could be. I'm getting now this message of, like, cleaning the lineage. Yeah. So maybe I do have a video of this in my channel on how to do the lineage cleanse and to align ourselves with the ancestors. Because sometimes it can happen that we're carrying some kind of karma because of something that our ancestors did. So what we do is we put them again in line. Maybe they were cast away for some reason, so we put them back again. We heal our lineage, we heal our ancestry, and that allows us to walk the path to actually build our legacy with the resources that we have now. All the blockages that our ancestors had and that we used to have, they get unlocked, and then we can walk the path.
Yeah. I have something insight for you if you want to contribute to that after I tell you this insight, because it's right on point. Meanwhile, what I can have her do is tell you to hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Thank y'all for being here. We really do appreciate it. That helps us out. You see the thumbs up. Hit it. Don't be stingy. Second, you want to drop that lineage video on this chat here. I think you're able to. So she'll drop the lineage video, so you'll be able to kind of go ahead and find your way there. Now, what I want to show you that relates to what she just said, if you notice here, it says second house, ninth house. Second house is the foundation of your family. Okay, it also is the money house, yeah, but more so what you value about the objects of your affection that basically inspires you to be optimistic about generating income, about generating earnings, right? This is the difference. It's not actually money. It's like how does this object, okay, even if she is the object of my affection, how does she as the object of my affection it promotes, enhances, and creates this sense of desire to expand within myself, the family lineage moving forward, okay? Because a lot of this is the ninth house as well, which is how can you do this and actually achieve inner peace, right? How can you do this? So when you think 10 of Pentacles energy, it's like, this is a happy card. This is a peaceful card. It's an optimistic card. That's the ninth house of Pisces, right? I mean, with Mars and Pisces, we're in the ninth house. You see it? So the whole thing behind this is when you look at the ancestry, it's about permanent. Pisces is about permanent healing of the self-worth via your finances and your entrepreneurial sales. Because Mercury, which is in Aries, Mercury in Aries is a relationship sector. It's a relationship sign. Mercury is about exchange. It's about sales. Okay, it's about selling yourself through your voice and through your body language, right? So every way that I'm moving my hand, every way that I'm not, every way that I look intensely at you in the camera, this is me selling my passion. This is me selling my voice. This is me selling courage. This is me selling inspiration. Okay, now as well, it's also Mercury Aries is about selling yourself absent of the ego. Selling yourself absent of the faulty parts of the ego. Not the ego as a whole, but the faulty parts, the parts that are actually not true to you, the parts that are your false self. Me selling beyond the mask. That's my point. So this is a lot of what's happening, and it's about permanent healing to sell myself like that person. Where if I'm an astrologer and I'm a shaman, it's to sell myself as a shaman. Meaning if I have remedies, it's to sell these remedies to you live. With optimism, that's just free game, right? You didn't have to come book a service to get this particular remedy. And when you do stuff like this, what you'll realize is people will want to start to buy from you. People will want to start to engage with you because they're like, wow, if he gave that away for free, what can he do for me on a one-on-one base? What can he do for me in this group environment? What can he do for me when that's actually an intention? And people will feel that process, okay? This is something you'll feel in the heart. You don't have to fake it. So, you see here, she has the clean your lineage and your ancestry. This is something that you can easily do, all right? You can follow the guidelines. I highly recommend it. It's in the YouTube chat, so you're able to click the link right away, all right? And yeah, let's move it forward. Hey, what's up, Auntie Ron? We're talking about the lineage. We got an aunt, right? We got an aunt right up in the building, and it's funny because Mercury, which we're healing, is our aunts and our uncles. Right? Like it's our aunts, our uncles, it's our siblings. Yes, we know your sister, your brother, but it's also the relationship with your aunts and your uncles. So it's like, I have a cool story for you, Auntie Ron. I was telling her, so now obviously we live in the same house, yeah? And there's a memory that I have with you when I was at your house, and I think I left a crumb or something. You saw like a fruit fly. And I was just visiting your house, right? So like I didn't know the rules. I didn't know like whether you had flies or not. I wasn't even worried about the fly. I was trying to go back upstairs and play video games. If I think I was trying to go downstairs, get some food, come back upstairs, right? I don't know if that was exactly it. But you were like, hey, and I had this memory where there's like, clean my house, right? And that's kind of how I interpreted it. Now, the reality is that's probably not how you said it. That's probably not even how you meant it. But how I took it in that moment, it actually, me as an adult, I'm now having this same thing. I'm talking to her, I'm like, hey, did you clean that corner with yeah, you see the crumb? What's up with these crumbs right here? We're gonna get some fruit flies, we're gonna get bugs. And when I think of that, I think of you, literally. I think of my aunt in this moment of like, make sure you clean that corner. There's no crumbs in my house. I'm not gonna have no bugs in it. And so it's like now as a homeowner, this is kind of where this energy kind of comes back, where it's like, you know, your wealth is actually linked to looking at these relationships with your aunts, your uncles, your siblings, and actually, yeah, right, looking at these relationships and realizing that none of this was personal. In fact, it was something karmically for us to basically find inner peace within ourselves. Where if I look at this for myself, inner peace is having a clean home. Like when my house is clean, I'm a happy person. Now, I didn't know that without having such experiences. You feel me? Like, you're a homeowner. Yeah, out in Mexico, gang, let's do it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, it's the second house where we're talking about, it's about the object of your affection. So my home is an object of my affection. And as I feed, cleanse, and maintain the integrity of the home, the object of my affection, what you'll find is you're going to go through tremendous healing. Where we had a cleaning lady, for example, right? I didn't like the energy coming in the house. So yesterday when we were supposed to clean, I was like, look, I'll just take, you know, our clean sheets and this and this. I prefer to clean my own house. I don't want you inside the house anymore. I don't want you to step in. That was a healing moment for me because I realized energy that is disruptive cannot step foot inside my home. I don't want shoes from the outside of the house inside the house. This is just me coming to terms with this is what it's going to take to actually grow generational wealth, because these are the things that bring me inner peace. And these are going to be things that go down to my children, and my children go down to their children. Like my aunt passed that down to me. So you got anything for us? Are we ready to move into the forecast?
Let's move into the forecast.
Let's move into the forecast. It changes everything with a clean house. I know. It's game changer. 1111 on screen. That's new manifestation period. So let's give the forecast out. We're gonna go for all 12 zodiac signs. Okay, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Scorpio, Virgo. All of you. We're gonna give you personal insight on how this is gonna impact you. Hit the thumbs up and the like button. It does help out the channel. It does allow it to go ahead and spread. So I want to say thank you for sharing that love. Number one.
222.
222 on screen. Number one. Here we go. It started at 222?
Yeah.
What up, Diana? Good to see you. These are the lessons that I'm teaching my daughter right now. Yeah. What's up, gang? Good to see y'all all up in here. Yeah. What's up, gang? Okay, so number one, Aries. What's the healing process going on for you? Okay, in the minds with the aunts. I'm in Aries, right? So I kind of just gave you a little bit of example with the aunt who's currently in the chat right now about what does the healing look like? How did this, which may have felt like a trauma as a child, actually become a gem, a jewel that you are sitting on, that you've been sitting on? Aries, you're in a process where right now you can have better relations with your siblings. Okay, I have two sisters. This is about being able to talk to them, right? If you have brothers as well, if you have cousins, being able to talk to them as my true self and say very clearly, look, this is my world. I'm an astrologer. I live in Mexico. I like to eat healthy. I like to keep my house clean. But having these conversations clean and pure, not trying to impress somebody else. This is where Aries falls into the hole, right? If you try to start impressing somebody else, you forget that you're the main person that you need to impress. You're the main person that you need to love. You're the main person who is the object of your own affection. And when you understand this, the greatest, the deepest karmic healing that you can go through right now with Mars actually in Pisces, aka in your sign, is about looking at how can you permanently get rid of the thoughts that are honestly negative and toxic, and actually focus on the routines that will get you there. And so for me, I've been waking up in the morning, for example, I've been right away drinking water with chlorophyll, apple cider vinegar, lemon, and I'm drinking 2 glasses of that way before I touch any food. And then I'm going onto the roof, I'm getting some sunlight, I'm journaling, because third house right here, you see third house is writing. 6th house is getting rid of the negative thoughts through writing and through gratitude. 6th house is the house of gratitude. That is the service to yourself, Aries. So it's like me writing down at least 5 things that I'm grateful for each morning in the sunlight, and then I'm starting to do some yoga and some qigong. This is about bringing my magical and spiritual manifestations into the physical world through movement and through breath work every morning. So Aries, you are going to go through this tremendous healing and actually get rid of the contacts, the people, the relationships, and the ways in which they've hurt you, the ways in which you felt like you were not respected. It's time to start deleting those numbers. It's time to start deleting your inbox. It's time to start getting rid of everything that makes you feel like this person didn't treat me how I deserve to be treated. This person did, and then understand that by you getting rid of them, this is what it means to love yourself. This is what it means to respect yourself first and foremost, and permanently become courageous and adventurous within everything you're here to complete and accomplish in your life.
So, for you, I have the King of Pentacles in reverse, which... What was that about? Yeah, so the King of Pentacles in reverse is about controlling your environment, but to a detrimental state. So trying to control people with the resources too. So I think that it goes into what you were saying, like precisely with siblings, like these relationships with siblings. I feel like that's easier. Like, hey, if you want the remote, you better be nice to me. You know, and that is like a childish example, but this can easily escalate to us being adults, like having the, oh yeah, I'll treat you to dinner, or I'll give you a ride, but you have to be a nice person to me. And it's all about re-understanding why are we doing these things if we're doing those, or why is the people that we care about doing that to us. And if so, then just stop it and change the relationship. Like, again, this is a reflection period of, am I being respected? Like in these examples, am I respecting the other? And then if the situation is reversed and they're doing it to you, like, is that really how that makes you feel respected or not? And then again, when you evaluate that relationship and then decide to just let it go, or to evaluate and talk to this person, try to resolve the situation. So that's what I have for you, Aries.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone because I feel like it's exactly what she said. You know, we had a conversation, I believe, yesterday, and it was like looking at our family conditions, looking at our family programs, and understanding like how do they differ, right? Like, she's Mexican, I'm African American. There are cultural differences, and I feel like a part of it was about speaking, communicating, and realizing, okay, boom, what are the things that matter to you? What are the things that triggered you? How do they differ from the things that triggered me? And within that, it's about understanding that I don't need to necessarily try to control your output on what you eat, what you do, when you're home, this is that. None of that. It's just like, oh, okay, look, I'm doing something right. And I didn't even know it, but it was about having those conversations, Aries. And then that let us understand, okay, when did these control narratives happen in our youth? When did they happen in previous relationships? And how have things shifted and changed now when we learn to respect yourself and, most importantly, respect the other person without being dependent on them? Okay, so we have Taurus here. Now, the one problem is we had comments come in, so my things they're disappearing. They're disappearing. Are you able to copy and paste that and put it in the chat? Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, so Taurus. Here we go. Everybody hit the thumbs up and the likes button. I appreciate y'all. You remind me so much of my Spanish sister-in-law. Gang. I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican. I just heard the voice. That's her favorite thing. I'm Mexican. Okay, here we go. I'm Mexican. I'm like stuck on it in the moment. Okay. Why can't I touch this? Thank you. Here we go. Taurus. So this is going to be time stamped. We have it right now. What is that? 2843?
Yeah, you go.
Taurus, you're going through the 12th house right now. Okay, this is a highly spiritual house, and it's also the house again of, like we said, that permanent karmic healing, Taurus. Okay, a house of isolation, a house where you being ruled by Mercury in the 2nd and the 5th. We're talking back that foundational thing. We're talking also about learning how to validate your own love that you require, the own forms of affection that you desire, and understanding what are these true fears and how did your romance life impact you in a way that may have felt negative, but you're probably coming to terms with what parts of this was irrational. And it's going to happen mostly by understanding, okay, what is your own karmic journey in this process? As for why did you have the parents as well as the romances in this life to reincarnate the way they did? Okay. You reincarnated for a reason. Okay. You had romantic connections that respected you, that didn't respect you for a reason. But understand that you decided to come back into this life and have those. You decided to have your parents as well as the foundation that you have. Now, with Mercury and Aries, the key thing is, are you able to move away from that center? Because as a fixed energy, you are very self-sustaining, okay? You in past lives were the farmer. You worked very, very hard. You worked for your own property. You built your property up from ground zero with no help, no support, okay? And that's a powerful trait. That's something that's like admirable. Is you are able to depend on yourself. You're self-reliant. You're self-efficient because of some of these past life themes. Now, the key theme is, I know, right? It's getting wild, right? It's getting buck wild. Now, the key thing, Taurus, I know, the energy, bro. The energy's getting crazy up in here, yo. Like, it's getting crazy. Okay. I know. I think this is why we might, okay. Thank you. Okay, so Taurus, the key theme now, yo, bro, if you don't leave me alone. Okay, Taurus, the key theme now is Mars is still in Pisces, and you know, it's one of these things that's what's happening for you during this time frame. The greatest healing is how your foundation has impacted your spiritual practices and how you relate with the world of what can't be seen. Okay, so my point is, not everything that you were visually able to see, that you were physically able to feel through your senses, whether it's sight, touch, smell, hearing, seeing, it's not all as simple and clear as that. And you're going to start to understand that the world of spirit is alive. It's always been alive. And though you're an earthly sign, if you can separate a little bit from that center and start moving forward, you're going to have a tremendous healing at the spirit level, at the soul level. And this is really what I have for you. It's just time to Mercury Chiron. Do you have a sample? Because I'm only like, I know who I'm thinking about in my mind right now. And I'm gonna just leave it like that. Like, is there something that may relate with you? Because I'm thinking about the same person.
yeah. Where you started. I actually already have the card for you. Is the Six of Pentacles, which can be one or two things. To give back, like if you are afraid of giving and you've been just hoarding stuff like a dragon, it's time to give back and to give out, like specifically to people that mean a lot to you. But it also has the other part of, like, if you're a person that like he said, you're very independent, that you build your own things, you don't you care for yourself and you have your own foundation, then it is time to accept help, because maybe you are very like you have a lot of things and you have built a lot for yourself in one aspect, but maybe in others, because it doesn't have to be necessarily something material. It can be just accepting help. It can be like just like finding somebody to listen to you, or you know, it doesn't have to be something material. It could be going to. I'm stuck with this therapy. Like, I'm stuck with somebody hearing you out. So that's the kind of help that I'm referring to, because maybe that's a difficult part for Taurus, to just accept that, okay, mental health is a thing. Like, yeah, I have a lot of things. I'm very wealthy. Like, I'm comfortable right now. But then what's missing? Like a true relationship. Maybe you're enclosing yourself. Maybe you're not trying to actively look for a friendship or a relationship, but maybe it is time to open up yourself to those possibilities.
No, without a doubt. As for Venus, I see your comment. That's another way you can look at 12th house, okay? With Taurus, it's like, right, we're talking loss, right? We're talking the underworld. And so these things happen. So I do want to send you some love, some healing energy, all right? I don't feel like that's, I mean, what happened, right? But I do wish you the best. I see you. Okay. Gemini, here we go. You're in the 11th house. Okay, what's happening in the mind for you in your exchanges with others, especially within groups and associations? I've seen a lot of Geminis right now, and what's really going on is you're needing to almost cut out all groups, all societies, because right now, what you may not be, you're starting to come to terms with a feeling body, and I think that's where your first house happening in the fourth house. There's a feeling body, an emotional body that is warning you that something's off, something was wrong, and you weren't really respected in each one of the groups you contribute to, whether verbally and being the lungs and the communicator of the zodiac, able to basically speak, act, move, flow with any group, any sect, any culture. You have the ability to talk to them all. But you're starting to realize that some people within these societies and these groups and these associations, they didn't really have the same dreams aligned with you, or even if they did, you were used a little bit, okay, for your ability to maintain the circulating air being intelligence, air being communication, okay, air being rationality, air being fun. And you brought a lot of fun elements to the people you've been connecting with, and you might be realizing the respect wasn't always there. It wasn't always equal. It wasn't always even. And so right now, really listen to your physical body. Understand that you're going through a tremendous rebirth, all right? And as well, understand that right now, you might be feeling a little more isolated from exactly those groups. You might be in the point right now where you're trying to feel a little bit more deeply. What's the truth? What do I feel? And how can I take the time to feel what I feel so that I can better differentiate and create boundaries as for what other people feel, and how I've been guilt-tripped, I've been shamed, okay? Some of these things have happened, and you're starting to feel that, and you're starting to be able to discern differently as for, okay, this is not going to happen again, and I'm going to become more powerful and stronger as a part of it before I reintegrate myself into different societies.
So for you, I have the Nine of Swords in reverse. I'm going to show it upright. It is all about like nightmares and insomnia. So it is talking about things that are deeply in the subconscious, that are worrying you, things that are like there's something that is not sitting right with you. And all about these dreams and nightmares specifically, it is about things that you don't want to deal with in the consciousness. So your body kind of does it for you in the subconscious, in the dream space. So a lot of this is asking you to please look at these things. And now, if I link it to the groups, it's more likely that you're being drained. Like you have a lot of energy that you're giving and you're not receiving the same. And it all adds up again to the respect part. Like this is how you're being disrespected in your groups.
Right.
Like you're giving way more than you're taking back.
Yeah.
So I think on the top of my mind, like, of these situations where you're always there for your friends, but then when you have a problem, they're not there for you.
Right.
Like whatever the reason is. So it's just again evaluating these groups that you're in. How are the dynamics? Like maybe you're just being the buffoon in the group, but then it's not aligned with who you are anymore.
Right.
So it's about changing these dynamics, like realizing who are you for yourself, and what kind of groups do you want to be in, and then making that happen, like getting away from those places where you are not feeling like yourself, your actual today self that is leading you to the best version of yourself, and looking for other groups that are just gonna simply come to you. They're like when you're aligned, then those people are just gonna start coming. Those opportunities are just gonna start. So just open your eyes to what those opportunities are and be ready to jump at them.
Exactly. She said it 1,000%. That's everything fourth house related. I have Cancer right here actually. She said it. Yeah, the Cancer was still. She said it. That's fourth house. Okay. Take the retreat, and everything else will align. The right ones will come. Yeah. Right? But you gotta cut. Because Aries in this instance right now is saying, cut it out. All right. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button for everybody that's watching, that's here. All right. Definitely let us know what your rising sign is. If you're watching, down in the chat, let us know what your sun sign is. Let us know what your moon sign is. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let us know that because maybe we're able to channel a little extra energy into it. That's it. We're at Cancer. Okay. You timestamp?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, bang. So Cancer, 10th house. Okay, the house of career, the house of praxis, the house of maturation. All right. The house of being mature, being responsible, being the authority. In what spaces? Okay, 2 spaces. 1, with your spiritual well-being, in the ways in which you speak from the soul. Okay, this is key. When you speak out loud in public, all right, we know that you're a sign who actually very deeply knows themselves. a lot of times better than most, because you take the time to dig into your subconscious, okay? You take the time to actually understand, what am I feeling? You take the time to feel what other people are feeling. You take the time to be empathetic and sympathetic. And now, Aries, Mercury, it's about being able to start speaking out in public, okay? From that soul level and with courage. Because the third house is the house of courage. So it's like, when you speak, what do you speak courageously? It's about speaking about the Akashic records with courage, okay? Especially with the family and especially out loud. Speaking about dragons with courage, fairies and magic with courage, okay? Speaking about all the themes and realms of reality, okay? Which is not just about spirit and source, but we're talking nature. Being able to channel the message from an animal, being able to listen to a bird and realize that the angelic message from the bird has told you, boom, here's what we need to cut away. Here's what we need to start to think about and speak about proudly, out loud. And when you look at the healing element, okay, somebody along the way, and this for me is likely a brother or a sister, or like we said, aunt or uncle, right? It's somebody in that bracket. You said something out loud that actually was from the soul, and it wasn't received well. And at some point in life, you pick and choose the time frame, the year, the reality, the dimension, and timeline. It hurt you. And it's about starting to be honest with that and actually mature in that response. No longer using emotions to control the other people so that you can feel safe. Okay, because you're so in tune with your emotions and you're so intelligent about the emotions that others are experiencing, most times more than they are, that you have the unconscious ability sometimes to go ahead and manipulate them, and it's not always intentional. But sometimes it is, because you do reflect, you do step back in private, and you do understand, oh wow, like I could have did better, or I prefer to be better. So if you are in a situation, a place, and a timeline of maturation, and to speak from that mature voice and undo the parts of yourself where you have been emotionally and spiritually manipulative, because you can see the unseen and the subtle energies that everything around the environment, the immediate environment especially. And so start meeting it with truth and honesty and justice. The way put out in the world what you feel you would have liked and appreciated, and it's going to return to you.
So for you, I have the Ten of Cups, which is, you can see, it's about a happy family, happy household. So it is, I feel that the message for you is just to make sure that you have, you make sure that that's a reality. Like within the family, within the household, what are the things that are working, what are the things that are not? And then again, making sure to talk it out. And I think that this aligns perfectly with what you were saying about the feeling that it could be a sibling or an aunt. And I feel that this is specifically for the people that you're living with, or that you have like a very, very, very close relationship with. So if there's a problem there, just like talk it out. This is about opening up, and I know that this can be hard for Cancer, but you have to open up and start talking about the things that are bothering you, the things that are not working anymore, recognizing for yourself. And this specifically with siblings, I understand how this can be difficult, because maybe they cannot see this new version of yourself. You're so used to seeing them from when they were born. Like some people, like specifically for the smaller siblings, they've known you their whole life. You've been there their whole time. So it is hard to understand that there's different versions and that they're evolving, like both of them. So this is about understanding this evolution of both of them and aligning yourself with the new version of your sibling, and your sibling aligning himself with the new version of yourself.
Facts. Can you give me a Leo timestamp?
Yes.
Appreciate it. All right. She said it. She on point. Venus, we'll see you later. I'll see you out of here. I see we got a Leo in the chat. All right, Leo rising is your time. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Thank y'all for being here. Okay, I do appreciate it. Leo. Ninth house, father house, masculine house, Aries and Mercury, another masculine, another fatherly emperor type energy. A lot of this is going to be about stepping into the divine expression of the masculine. Okay, being very clear, being very organized, being assertive, not aggressive, but assertive with your inner peace. okay, with the associations that you have with large factions of people, all right, who are either here to help and support your dreams or not, right? When I look at the healing journey for you, Leo, I'm getting, you met people at one point. I'm almost feeling a little gut sickness in a sense right now. You met people at a point who supported your dreams. You met people at a point who supported your earning potentials, who supported your true worthy self. And did you respect yourself when you met them? And this is a key theme, right? Did you actually respect yourself when you met them? And did you respect the other person who was supporting that? Now, simultaneously, you would have realized that you met other people who didn't respect you. And you're going to meet versions of yourself when you didn't respect yourself. And that convoluted your vision. It made you cynical, where the people who were actually there to support, you couldn't respect them because you didn't respect yourself, because the people who weren't supporting, which were a lot, they overran and crowded your environment. They crowded and overloaded your senses, where you weren't able to feel what was real. And so at one point, it looked like all one mixed up jumble, jambalaya type energy, where you had all these different kinds of meats and spices and juices and X, Y, and Z. But you weren't able to pick out any particular flavor, especially the ones that were worthy. And when I say worthy, I mean aligned with your aspirations, the longest term dream. And so within that, everybody got destroyed. The good, the bad, and everything in between, including yourself. So this, at this point now, with this conjunction in Chiron, you have a chance to look at how can you heal through this entire dynamic and move forward with the right associations. Move forward and support the dreams of others the way you wanted your dreams supported. Move forward with what you earn and be more optimistic with those earnings, and be more grateful for what you have at the foundation. And realize that now you have the time and the energy to give back. Because now you're coming into a great financial situation. It's your financial situation is going to grow, without a doubt. You're coming into a deeper sense of inner peace through all of this. And Mercury and Aries, getting ready for this eclipse, you have a beautiful energy to be supported by Aries. I love the fellow brother sign. But what's going to require is you to step into that masculine expression. Be more organized, be assertive, not aggressive, okay? And then Eileen has something for you.
I do.
Yeah.
So I have for you the Death card. And this is giving me vibes of like, maybe you are getting fired from your job. But with that money from the, how do you call it? The money that they give you when they fire you?
Severance pay?
Yeah, well, and with the severance pay, you set up your own business. Like, this is the best example that I can give with Leo. And again, be open. This can happen in a lot of ways, because I just feel like it is the death of something. Like, there's definitely the ending. And we have this eclipse, and the eclipses naturally lead us where we need to go. They are shocking, yeah. So that's why I'm starting with maybe there is like you're getting fired from your current job, but then just open yourself to, okay, what does this allow me to do? And this actually happened to a person that I knew a lot of years ago, that he had his student loans. He got fired from the job that he where he was working at, and with the money of the severance, he was able to pay off his student loans. Like, he actually made the negotiation, and he was like, okay, I have this now, so can you remove some of the interest so this debt can be settled? And it worked.
Yeah.
So I really thinking that something like that is on works for you, Leo. And again, with this whole understanding of the financial situation is going to be good for you. It's just keeping your eyes open to the opportunities.
Yeah.
What is dying? Well, maybe it is within your career. Like, what is dying? Maybe you're stuck into a dream that you had when you were, I don't know, 10 years ago,
Exactly.
4 years ago. And now you realize for yourself that you actually want something different.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, the change is okay. The Death card is all about change. So it's just about embracing it the right way and opening your eyes and embracing these new opportunities as they come.
Yeah. Yeah. Your dream is changing, and you're starting to realize the fantasy behind the old dream, and whether it aligned or not, but also your attachment to it, whether it aligned or not. And now you're at a place of transformation. You're at a place of change. And the real outlet, the best remedy for you right now is gratitude. without a doubt, it's gratitude, 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 or repeat. Like, write down 3 things you're grateful for in the morning. Write down 3 things you're grateful for at night, and you'll be all right, Leo. I do have Virgo, timestamp. Thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. Timestamp. Thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. What up, what up, what up? I just had to clap. You know, I don't know why, but Virgo, I'm feeling something powerful for you. And you look, you see the 8th house, another house of transformation that we really just talked about, right? In order for you to transform, you have to get deeply in tune with the motivation behind your deepest passions, with the way in which your fears hold you, and in which the way they're able and ready to push you forward. All right, Virgo. So that's step 1, what I have for you. Now, the places that this is happening is starting from the moment you rise. Okay? So from the moment that you rise and you wake up in the morning, you got to be waking up with positivity right now. Like, this is a key theme. You have to almost take the time to strategize, what is the most positive way that I can wake up? Do I need to wake up right now and listen to positive affirmations? Step 1. Do I need to wake up right now and do a guided meditation? Okay? Whatever it is, there needs to be a strategy. You can't just depend on random chance in life to show you this right now. And you love to plan. You love to organize. You love to put things together. So use your strength to do that as a Virgo, right? You are the seams of reality. You stitch together the entire universe. And so right now, you have an opportunity to use your lens of the universe in the physical world to see behind the veil, to see deeper into the soul, all right? And actually become obsessed with yourself, literally, to become obsessed with yourself in the way in which you take on a positive outlook on the world as well as your world view. So this is a time frame to go through a death and transformation with that worldview, and understand right now I can mature. I have a responsibility to myself to be more positive and to show the more positive sides of myself, to not only be critical, to not only buy into the perfectionist narrative, but realize that there's nothing bad about that. There's nothing bad about wanting to improve step by step, brick by brick. Now, if I can understand that that's just who I am, and actually accept that's just who I am, and let go of how other people judged, criticized, and essentially asserted their own projections onto how you should act and behave when you step outside the house, who you should really be, you're going to go through a healing of understanding that within yourself. And that will allow you to step outside, and the projection will bounce right off of you. And you'll start to become obsessed with the next step.
So the next step is actually, I have the full.
Ooh, new beginnings.
So it is about trusting the universe, like trusting that whatever it is outside for you, it is the right thing. So this can be hard sometimes, specifically for Virgo, because like you like to have a plan, you like to have your routines, you like to understand what's going on, have practically every day, every hour just mapped out. And this fool is just telling us that it is time to trust the universe. Like, if something changes your plans, just allow it to change. So if the boss didn't come, if you're late to work, like all of these things that can be just annoyances. And again, it's Mercury retrograde, so it's gonna happen. Like, even if you double check and you triple save your Excel works, like, things can happen. And remember that when these things happen, it's actually because this is where we must have attention, or where we must let go. Like, when things in Mercury retrograde happen, is not because they want to annoy you and that's it. Like, exes are coming because it is time to realize that our evolution, like, why we let them go. But when the things didn't save, it's like, okay, maybe this is not the time to close this deal, and a better one is gonna come out later. If you're late to work, maybe it is because there was an accident that was gonna happen in the road, or maybe it's because you weren't meant to be in the bus, you were meant to walk. And as you walk, you'll discover a little bakery. Like, all of these things, just try to see the positive in whatever happens and whatever the changes are. And I bet you're going to be 100% better.
1,000%. That's why I felt in the beginning, you're going to have to wake up to something positive before you step outside. The key thing is the 10th house is going outside. So before you step outside, you got to wake up to something positive and actually kill off the negative thought processes and kill off the intimacies and your connections and attachment to what was traumatic. Let it go, Virgo.
Let it go. Let it go.
La, 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 la. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the halfway point, okay? This is a good time at this halfway point to just share what you're feeling, share any insights that you gained so far. We've had a pretty consistent 10 to 13 people. I want to say thank y'all for being here.
Yay.
That's really a joy. I want to say I love you. All right? Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. Libra. When I wrote yours down, when I was writing down 7th house, I was like, ooh. If anybody is going through an understanding on what you, Libra sun, moon, rising, okay? Anyone with a lot of extra Libra placement, I know a lot of Venus and Libra people as well, all right? You're one of the main ones going through the sincerity and the truth of how you disrespected yourself, right? Like it just is what it is. Like, you realized, okay, I disrespected myself. That sucks. It's a bummer, right? Like, it is what it is. It's a bummer. And you're coming to terms with that. Now, the positive side of this is, okay, you have an opportunity to transcend that program, to transcend the dependence, especially emotionally. Not necessarily other people being emotional pillars of support for you, but you being an emotional pillar and support for anybody and everybody, especially to advance, whether in your business relationships with clients, okay, or from the perceived relationship, the perceived perfect romance, the perceived, and the key word here is perceived, right? Meaning, was it really real, or did it look good? Did it feel how you envisioned for yourself? Did it feel like the dream love? Did it feel like the dream client? Did it feel like the dream connection? Or did it just look that way? And you convinced other people that way. And then starting to come to terms with, what are my subconscious 98% programs that are running through me? And how can I address inner peace? How could I actually walk my own path and not what society says is a beautiful woman or a handsome man? Okay, is the ideal client or the ideal payout? Oh, if I can make $100,000 as an astrologer, that's the it. Maybe that's not really what feels good to you. Maybe that's what you were trained was necessary. And so, Libra, the key thing is you're breaking away from all dependence. All right, you're breaking away from the societal expectation, and you're breaking away from group thought. Okay, pod mind, thinking what everybody else is thinking, and staying in that safe place. Because as long as you don't challenge and go against the grain, you're safe. But the problem is, it's not fulfilling to your soul. It's not fulfilling to your heart, and it's not fulfilling to your truth. So for you, Libra, your throat chakra, I don't know, like it's ringing right now. It's like it's itching. Drink some lemon water. Start drinking some warm lemon water tea, and it'll kind of help with you start to speak up in your truth and speak up in your relationships, speak up about your pains, and speak up about your fears. When it comes to connection, when it comes to partnership, when it comes to any commitment, speak about your fears. All right, especially with the people that matter, and be willing to say, if you go away and you're not a part of my circle anymore, then I'm okay with that. Be willing to say, I'm okay with that. Be willing to say, I'm okay with that. And create that affirmation for yourself. I'm more than willing to lose who's not aligned. I'm more than willing to lose who's not aligned. I'm more than willing to lose who's not aligned. This is a time for you to start speaking up about relationship mantras, relationship affirmations, because there's a lot of deep soul work that you have to do and a lot of undoing that's happening right now. And you realize it's time.
It's time.
Let it go.
Let it go. I have for you the Ace of Wands, and it lets me know that it is time for action. Like, instead of focusing on how it looks, how the fantasy goes, it's like, what do I feel? And this is a hard exercise. Like, I've been trying it for myself too, of like, what is the first instinct? because the mind just grabs control so fast that sometimes it's like, oh shoot, I think that I had it, and now I'm confused. And when you're confused, it's like the how do you say it? When you're confused, is the sign that it's not aligned, that the line is already there.
Okay. So yeah, when you're confused, it means that you're not following your spontaneous yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he just has like a specific way to say it. Yeah, I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to hit it exactly like that. But that's the gist of it. Like, just act first. Like, what is the first reaction? Does it excite you? Does it scare you? Like, whatever it comes first, allow it to come. And I'm telling you that it is a hard exercise because the mind is so controlling. And Libra, being an air sign, like, it is super easy to just overthink everything. And when you're overthinking, it's just a waste of energy. Like,
yeah.
If you go with your first instinct, you're gonna be much, much happier. And this applies to people. Like, I pride myself in having this meter for people. I'm like, immediately I know if I'm gonna like them or not. I know if they're gonna cross me or not. Mm-hmm. Like, I know it in my soul. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly something that you should start doing in this in this time. Just to understand what are the relationships that are actually gonna give back to you. Like, allow again, just for instinct. There's so many things. Like, I've been learning about consciousness waves and subconscious waves. Like, that's why when you're staring to somebody at the end of the room and they look back, it's because you're feeling the shifts of the energy. And again, this is something that exists with all kinds of energy. Like, if you are connected, this is how we are able to perceive. This is how we're able to go into the Akashic records. This is how we're able to channel. This is how we're able to do the Reiki. So just be more in tune with this energy to allow your intuitive yes, your first reaction, your first response to come through.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna be able to cut everything else that is not serving you, because you're realizing that it's not serving you anymore. Yeah. It's just about making it conscious again.
Yes. And when you do that, you'll stop trying to mind control other people's responses and reactions.
Boom. Yeah.
Because that's what's getting you stuck, Libra. You're reading minds. You're focusing more on the other person than yourself. And that's what's getting you there. And you're thinking that if I can control, you get the rest. All right, we on to the next. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. I thank y'all for watching so many networks and channels. The most thumbs up and hearts we had from Facebook ever. So that's dope. All right, Scorpio, what we got? Can you give me an incense going? Water over there?
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm stuck. I'm locked in this corner. Okay, here we go. So Scorpio, we got your timestamp. All right, Auntie Ron. Good to see you up in here. Yeah, you was here for a little while. Oh, okay. So aren't you a Scorpio? This is yours. Yeah. You gotta stay for this last second. Don't run away. This is your Scorpio. You the Scorp. All right, here we go. So, I gotta watch my tone now. Got the in here, the Scorpio. She's like, okay, bye. No. All right, and so, sixth house is the house of elimination. It's the house of eliminating waste. All right. It's the house of processing what's healthy for you and what's not healthy for you. It's the house of actually absorbing nutrients. What are the things that fuel you? What are the things that serve your physical body? And also becoming very aware of what are the things that don't. And so for Scorpios, it's like, can I become aware and be honest? And I'm a Scorpio rising, y'all know that. So this is on me as well. Can I be sincere and honest with how to serve my body and how to serve my own mind, as well as the negative mental thought processes that are holding me back from my higher service to my physical body? So when I get the acne on the face, am I actually doing the service that I know is healthy and also sixth house, organic, natural? So not putting the cream on my face to cover it up, because sixth house is about exactly the opposite. It's about removing the false self, removing the parts of our ego that we find faults with. Where me putting makeup on my face to cover the acne, that's not gonna do it. It's just putting a mask on top of the deeper root issue. And Scorpio, you're one that likes to dig into the psychological motivations behind the deeper root issue. So when we look deeper, we have the ruler of your 8th and your 11th house, okay? So 8th house, we're in it, we're talking about it. It's a time frame where if you respect yourself, you're able to actually kill away that mask, kill away the parts that are killing you from the inside out, and be very serious and real with it, and be honest and truthful, because Aries is a sign of truth, okay? And while it's conjunct as Chiron, it's time to heal yourself at the identity level, your literal identity. So how you identify as a Black woman, and we eat mac and cheese every Christmas. Okay, well, maybe next Christmas you find yourself having an urge to not eat it and eat something else instead, because you're like, it's hurting me somehow, some way. Or you find yourself making your own mac and cheese in a way that actually serves your body, right? And so this is a lot about food, and it's a lot about control within your environment and controlling the dreams and aspirations of your intimate partner. And that one is going to hurt somebody. It's like you're married, you have a lover, you have somebody you're intimately connected with. Okay, great. Y'all became more powerful together. Okay, awesome. When you merge with this person, are your dreams and your aspirations actually aligned with them? Or are you dictating and manipulating their dreams so that they can fit the mode of your intimacy that you desire? You gotta be careful with the control, and also be careful with who tried to control you, who tried to tell you that this is the dream life, even if it wasn't. And do a little deeper research at the mental and the psychological level to feel more deeply, okay, what am I honest? If I was to be emotionally honest with the situation, with myself, with the control dynamics that I've had on others, that others have had on me, how can I respect myself in this entire process and respect the person across from me that I truly care about? Respect the group and association across from me that I truly care about. And also be willing to let the ones die that are not aligned, and they only care about the person that I've pretended to be rather than who I really am. What you got?
So for you, I have the Wheel of Fortune, but in reverse. I'm going to show it to you straight because this is a nice deck. So it is about stagnation. And I think that with Scorpio, it's very easy to fall into this. Like when something doesn't go the way that we want, it's easier to just get stuck there and try to control everything. So it goes to how exactly we have it in our minds. So this is a warning of like, don't allow yourself to be stagnant. Like keep moving. The eclipse is gonna change everything. The eclipse is just gonna make move you in certain ways, and it's gonna shock you in certain ways that it's just leading you to your greatest path. So allow it to happen. Don't become this stagnant part. Don't get fixed on your ideals. Like it is really easy to just get obsessed with whatever it is in your mind and believe that life should go as you have it on your fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the sign to actually move forward, move past it, evolve. Like everything that comes back, all of these fallbacks that you're going to experience, just allow them to happen and allow them to make you grow instead of just keep yourself gated in this stagnant place.
Yeah. So one of the main things to help yourself with this Wheel of Fortune reverse, change your routine. This is going to be one of the major things. So if you're used to doing the same thing on a daily basis, switch it on purpose. If you're used to traveling to work in a certain way, switch it on purpose. Okay, try and experiment, even if it's just one day. And the thing with Scorpio in this, sometimes you got to do one day. Okay, so if you live far, I get it. You have a car, like you work far, I get it. Like you got to drive. Okay, cool, great. You know, but maybe one day take an Uber, where yeah, it might cost you a little money, but somehow you put in that money and energetically understanding that I'm putting this money into somebody else's livelihood, right? Like you're paying an Uber driver, you're putting it into somebody's livelihood. I'm helping them out somehow, some way. 8th house is about helping somebody else out in the way that you want to grow, right? Can I give you support in the way that I want to feel supported? All right. Can I give you it and not withhold a certain pleasure that you want, that I know you want? Can I give you that without expectation that you must return something or trying to manipulate the return either? Right? These are the things that's going to help you get out of some of this stagnant energy, because you're one of the signs that really represent the heart chakra. Okay. And so when you do things from a place of compassion and do things gently, life starts to open like a flower and blossom for you, Scorpio. When you do things with control, a lack of compassion, right? A lack of grace, life starts to block off all of your abundance, especially the abundance of love. And once you block the love frequency, everything else is going to go out of the window. Everything starts to decay. Everything starts to actually die and wither away. But it's springtime. So it's a time for growth and to be nourished and to flourish and to become bigger, better, and a well-oiled machine. All right. That's what we got for you. Scorpio gang. I know we got a lot of people in this Scorpio network, so we're going to get this Sagittarius energy once it pops up on screen. Come on, Sag. Come. There we go. All right, we got a timestamp. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up and the likes button. Vanessa, good to see you up in here. It's funny because I was going through my WhatsApp and deleting messages, and I saw your name in there today, so that's really ironic. Boom, here you go today. All right, so Sagittarius, 5th house, a happy house.
Happy.
Very happy house. Very happy place to be. Very much self-sustaining. Very much self-respecting. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm getting at, you might not like. This might not be the whole message, but this is the first one that came through. Don't laugh at your pain anymore, Sagittarius.
Damn.
Excuse me. I knew that was coming. I was like, I gotta say it. I can't hold it in. All right, Sag. You know, it's not the time to keep laughing at your pain.
You sing songy too.
Say what?
You sing songy too.
Yeah. All right. You can't always laugh at your pain. And it's okay to respect yourself. Sagittarius, I know that you're a highly misunderstood sign. Okay. This is the flat out truth. People don't really understand you. And a lot of it, they don't want to understand you. Because part of it is you're here to walk your own path. And you're here to oftentimes walk a path of isolation, which is why this as a 5th house for you is tremendous. I'm going to let her interject. Go ahead.
I mean, I was just surprised because this card, like, I was looking for a keyword, and it was like, it is a King of Wands, but in reverse. So the description was like, trying to control others with their charisma and their ego. And it is like right on point with the stop laughing at yourself, because it goes right to it. Like you laugh at yourself so others don't do it. And it's still like putting your mask, like using your charisma, using these masks to control the situation. Because the truth is that you feel that if you're your true self, you're not in control of the relationship. You're in control of that conversation. You're not in control of that relationship. So it's time to let go of that mask. It's time to let it go, because that's what it is. Like when you're laughing at your pain, it is a mask. It is a way of control. So it's letting that go in order to reflect your true self. And it's funny because the first card that actually jumped to me was the Moon card, but I didn't really feel it. And the Moon card is all about revealing the secret, revealing the true face. And finally, the one that came out, the one that jumped was this, the King of Wands. And it is just funny to see how it is still about revealing the secret, but this is just give another level of deepness by telling us like that you're controlling the situations and the ego.
Mm-hmm. Flat out. And whether you realize it or not, you care what people think. And you care how people see you.
Of course, like that's why they want to control the situation.
Exactly. And so the healing journey for you with Mercury Chiron at the mental level, Mercury is a sign that you in the real world don't do so well in the real physical world. Mercury in Sagittarius, I think, is phenomenal in the world of spirit, phenomenal in the world of subtle senses, because you actually do take a time to isolate, you do take a time to walk your journey alone. So the key thing is, be willing to let go of superficial relationships that don't live in integrity and that don't respect how you decide to live within your own personal integrity, as well as with your own faith in yourself, faith in your vitality, faith in your self-sufficiency. Sagittarius, you're one of the most self-sufficient signs. You are here to walk a path, oftentimes alone. That's what makes you the guru, okay? That's what makes you the master. You're the master, you're the guru, you're the teacher that other people want to follow. Meaning what? You can't shift, change, laugh at your pain based off of the image, based off of what other people think it means to be a mature person in your life, what it means to be a mature leader, what it means to be a mature pioneer, an adventurer, right? The whole thing about it taking an adventure, no one really gets to the top of the mountain except for the people that do. A lot of people are circling the bottom of the mountain. But when you get to the top, you're going to realize the energy gets quieter. Your senses start to heighten. You begin to feel more powerful. And you simultaneously begin to feel initially lonely. And then you start to realize that that lonely feeling is not loneliness at all. It's peace. It's peace in the mind. It's peace in the heart. And it's a choice to be alone, which is very different than not being able to be around other people. So at this point, the healing journey is learning that you're here to walk your own path. And you're here to walk it alone. And you're here to choose inner peace. And along the way, you will meet beautiful people. And they will actually be beautiful. They won't be the illusion of beauty. They'll be the truth of beauty.
Nice.
Sag. Ooh, hit the thumbs up, baby. Capricorn. 4th house. Opposite of your happy place, okay? To spend time actually feeling. And you just went through Pluto and Capricorn a couple months ago. Going through, okay? Mima. Oh, yeah, Mima is the one. My grandma is a Sagittarius. She's the one. And she moved in the most isolated area. This is kind of still Sagittarius. She moved in the most isolated area, right? And so, prime example, right? Like Eileen and I went to go visit. What did you say? When she was far from Orlando, what did you say? We were driving. You're like, I can't believe what Florida looks like because you never seen it outside of Miami.
Oh,
or Orlando.
yeah. Like it was desolated. It looked like a Mexico highway too.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it was just so isolated. There were no more buildings. Like you can truly see that there's the city part where there's everything that's really just one dot, and then you go a little bit out and it's like nothing.
Yeah. And she lives in the middle of nothing, right? So this is sad, right? But if you go there, there's a peace there. Like when I visited her, there's a peace there. She was taking her time gardening. She goes to the gym. She has her own little lifestyle, right? And it's very calm. It's very peaceful. And it actually inspired me. And that's the magic of Sagittarius, right? It inspired me to garden. So now I garden now. But I garden because of the inspiration of a Sagittarius and seeing it in real time. All right. So we have Capricorn. 4th house. Thank you for that. Again, like I said, a place that is not naturally very, very comfortable for you. Okay. Pluto went through your sign. It's completely done. It's going to go one more retrograde, sure. But for the most part, it's done. And Capricorn, you're a feminine sign with a masculine aura, right? Big boss type aura, but you're still a woman. And this is a time when you put in the 4th house where your masculine starts to lower itself a little bit, all right? And it more so is focused on creating a safe space for you to start to allow yourself to feel, to start to allow yourself to retreat, especially from the public eye, all right? Now, with the ruler of the 6th and the 9th house, in this retreat, you're going to be going through an elimination of looking to gain the respect from people within your working environment, from people who know you as a boss, people who know you as an authority in whatever space that you have chosen. You're now not basing how you respect yourself off of that environment. And kind of close to the Sag, you're choosing inner peace. You're choosing to say, you know what? I am an authority. I do love being a boss. I do love being at the top of the food chain. But I also can find ways to start eliminating some of the nonsense that I've accumulated and collected along the way. I can actually start to change my environment a little bit. But in order for me to do that, I have to reflect. I have to introspect. I got to step back into myself, into my emotional body, and give myself the space, the time, and the energy to feel a little bit more. And if I allow myself to do that, by the time I step back out in public, I'm going to actually find myself being less controlling, less in my toxic masculine energy, and more in my feminine light, my authenticity. Allow myself to be myself for who I truly am, and not any expectation, not buying any projection. And what you're going to find, Mercury is, again, the place of exchange and sales, right? Selling yourself, selling your product, selling your information, selling your wisdom, selling your intelligence, okay? And it's a lot of these things you're going to find, you're going to start selling that more than the expectation. But I want to hear from her.
So whenever I think of Capricorn, I somehow always think of Jessica Pearson from Soup. Like I can never unsee that ever again. And now thinking about the retreat, is like she, if you've seen this series, like she suddenly has to choose between love and the work. But obviously that's a very tough decision for Capricorn.
Yeah.
You know, because like the work is truly like the love of their lives.
Yeah.
But right now, the card that I have for you is the Eight of Cups, and I bring this into the conversation because the Eight of Cups in reverse, like the Eight of Cups, naturally it's about your journey and just leaving behind things that are no longer good for you. But when it comes to reverse, it's about clinging to them, about just wanting to stay with those things, with those memories. Like it is a very emotional thing. So whatever is linked to you emotionally with that job, with that thing that doesn't, or that relationship that is not serving you anymore, like those are the things that are harder just to sever. But it is the time to just burn it all, and just burn the bridges and realize that it's time to move on. And I'm not saying that it's easy, because it is not. Like I'm just flat out telling you, this is not an easy thing to do, not for anybody, but specifically for you, Capricorn. It is time to grab this objective lens that you use for so many things and use it for your emotional relationships, for your emotional attachments, because it is the time to let it go. And if you don't let go in the nice way, like calmly and by yourself, I'm telling you, the eclipse is going to do it for you, and it's not going to be as happy. So this is just an early warning. The Mercury retrograde is easily going to show you those aspects and where are the things that you need to let go. So just pay attention to that, be open to it, and cry. Like it is the best thing to do right now, is do the release and move forward. What are those balloons for? Big balloons.
As she said, crying will help you release resistance. Okay, crying linked to the lungs, allowing you to release the resistance. All right. And the second thing that came to me, I want you to just try this. Just go, everybody watching, just go.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for a second.
Okay, here we go. Okay, and when you do this deep sigh, you start releasing your fear. In Aries, Mercury in Aries, Chiron Aries, Aries is the symbol of fear. Aries is one of the main representations of fear itself, and anger. And being able to transmute the anger of whatever those attachments have brought by clinging to them, be able to transmute that anger to address your true fears, to address your emotional fears, your fears to dive into a love, your fears to eliminate things that take away your peace, your fears to challenge society as a politician or in the political space, challenge different political thoughts, right? Like speak up about them. You feel that what's happening in Palestine is not okay, to speak up about them, to not care about what your Facebook friends and community say. You actually like Donald Trump, and you think he does well for your tax bracket, then to speak very clearly about that, right? And just to really start. But before you do, the key thing is you're going to realize that you're going to need to eliminate some of the thought processes and some of the control of your image, right? Some of the control of the people that you work with, your actual co-workers. When you take that time to reflect and introspect inside, then you come back out, basically next month, now you're going to be happier. But it's going to take those tears, it's going to take those deep sighs, it's going to take that release. And then you're going to actually come back and realize that as a Capricorn, you are already in a space where you're going to die soon. Like, even if you're 20, 30 years old, you have the urge and the pressure to feel more like somebody who's 60 to 65. And there is the peak where they can now use their power, they can use their money to create and enhance the world, to make it and leave it a better place than they were born. And that's the design of a Capricorn. But you're not going to be able to do that without getting into the policy laws and speaking up on that level where change really happens. All right, here we go. So we have Aquarius. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, gang. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. Let me get a little.
I'm getting hungry.
All right, yeah, it's hunger time. I feel it too. Aquarius, third house, courage. That's the first one that came to my mind. Courage. Now, to be courageous with what? The second thing coming to my mind, to be courageous with your fantasies. To be crazy with your delusion. I don't even know where crazy came out from. It just shot out of my mouth. To be crazy with your delusions, to be crazy with your fantasies, and actually move away from your center. So a lot like Taurus, remember, as a fixed sign, you're more internally focused, especially in the mind, okay? Especially in the mind and especially within the body. You keep a lot of thoughts of everyone, including your own. You keep a lot of dreams of everyone, including your own, inside your physical body. And if you don't start speaking those dreams and those thoughts out, you're not going to be able to discern what is really yours and what's not. And then even when you discern which one's yours and what's not, you're going to have to be courageous to speak up on yours, which is actually not that very much easy for you at all. And right now you're going through a tremendous healing within the mental body, in the mental space. So when I say the mental body, what I'm saying is thought, ideas, and the ways in which you communicate with your body language. Right now, 5th house rule, 8th house rule, it's about disintegrating your ego. Now, your ego is different than Leo's ego, okay? Your ego is more of a fabricated reality that has been set up in your mind in your private time when you were out in space, away from everyone else, away from the crowd, away from the people, okay? Your ego is very different than Leo. It's not about everyone seeing you shine, right? Not in the Leo sense. But the reality is you do want to be appreciated for your thoughts. And you're starting to realize that I can't really be appreciated for my thoughts if I don't respect myself enough to be courageous to share it, to walk against the fear and say, here is my genius and freaking brilliant idea for how the world can become a better place. It requires respect. And it requires you to actually change who your friendships are with and your immediate environment, your circle, to actually match and align your hopes and your aspirations, all right? To align and match that futuristic vision you have for how you're gonna leave the world in a better place. And the reality is you have to allow yourself to become more self-sufficient in that entire process and less dependent on the other person. Because Aquarius in the sun equates to the 7th house, meaning you're dependent on other people. But right now, you're not in that house, right? This healing is happening in your own mind, which is only your individual thoughts. It's not anybody else's thought. Yet, when the 3rd house, even though it's not anybody else's thought, it is very easy to get caught in the thoughts of society and take them on as your own. So it's part of what makes you so powerful, because you realize, here are the thoughts of my immediate environment in my society. As a Black man, as a Mexican woman, right? These are my thoughts of the people that I'm around. So great. That's what makes you powerful to pursue your dreams with courage and walk against the fear. If you can separate from that group pod mind. If you can decide that my healing is about 5th house, which you see right here, myself. 5th house is a selfish house. It is not about anybody else. It does not listen to anybody else. Meaning, you've already heard everybody else. That's one of your best gifts. But now, can you listen to yourself? Can you respect what you hear from your own angelic guides, from your own cosmic support? Because the birds are chirping right now and they're telling you, go for it. Deny that. And the 8th house is here to actually help you go through a death and to transform the parts of your ego that has been falsified. Let it go. What you got?
So I got for you the Queen of Cups, and it is all about emotions. Like I remember that I read once the description of this, and it really stuck with me. And it's like the person that helps you heal a broken heart. So realize where your heart has been broken. What relationships make that happen? Well, what are the parts of you that still haven't healed from that? Because right now is the time to take care of yourself. Because as you said, like Aquarius just thinks about everybody else. Like it's part of this humanitarian heart and hopes of wanting to help everybody else first before they help themselves. And right now, it is not a time to do that. It is time to look at your emotions again. It is time to get in tune with your own self. What is wrong? What is making you angry? What is making you happy? Like all of these, because it doesn't have to be all bad. What are the things that actually motivate you? What are the things that make you smile? What are the things that you're grateful for? And putting this reflection is just going to help you put the energy where it matters the most and where it is going to multiply after.
Yeah, exactly. That's the 5th house part that we were talking about. That's the selfish part. you taking the time to be selfish, to feel into it, the world will become better and others will fall in line. Understand that as much as you are here, you are still the Sky Father. You're still the Sky Consciousness, meaning your ideas are so futuristic that no one will ever really truly appreciate them. And that's sad. Because the only people that's really going to appreciate your ideas, they're not born yet. And they won't be born for another 500 years. And that's hard to accept, meaning you will never get the praise for your genius in this lifetime. But if you can let go of that and realize that I have a higher duty to respect those ideas anyways, 500 years later from now, the world will be walking in your image. So buy that. All right, here we go.
I already put it.
Oh, my bad. Gang. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. I appreciate you. This is the last one we have for today on this Mercury in Aries, conjunct Chiron in Aries as we approach the new moon, solar eclipse in Aries. It's an Aries loaded season. It's a time for growth and birth. Pisces. Now, you are going to go through a special time because Mars is in Pisces right now. So Aries is ruled by this Mars sign. And Pisces, Mars being in Pisces right now, you are one of the most special people that are going through a tremendous time. I can't say that it's good or bad, but we'll discover this, all right? Pisces, in the second house transit, the first that I'm getting more of earning potential, okay? I'm getting more of your literal bank account, okay? Going through what? I don't know. But it feels like having a little more respect and appreciation for what you currently have in that bank account, okay? And understand what you value about money. But more importantly, understand that that's just the result, okay? The reality is, what do you value about those objects of your affection? So what do you want to give love to? What do you love, okay? Don't worry about how it's going to make you money yet. Just understand the money will be the result, like I was trying to say. It'll just pour into your bank account. What do you love? Now, with the ruler here being the fourth house, you're not going to know what that is until you introspect, step away, especially from your partner. Literally what I'm getting, like you need to step away from the mindset of your partner, the mindset of your lover, the mindset of somebody you're committed to. When you step away and you start thinking and feeling, I don't want to say thinking, okay, but a little thought. But understand, you're going to use the thought just to guide new social values from old social attachments. And that's what you're going to use the mind for, okay? But you're more so going to take the time to feel, all right? And you're going to go through a permanent healing as you cut away valuing more of what other people value than what you understand you value for yourself. And that's what's getting you caught up in the wind, getting you lost deep in the ocean. You know what other people value. Do you know what you value as an individual? Because this is Aries season. Mars is there, and your sign, but Aries is everywhere, right? This is about self-respect. The healing journey is realizing, damn, I've always put everybody else's need above my own. Damn, in the family, I've always put everybody's needs above my own. Damn, in almost every environment that I'm thinking about, socially, mentally, physically, and otherwise, I've always put everybody else's need in front of my own. And if I'm being honest with myself, like, this makes me really sad. It makes me want to cry. It makes my eye twitch. Okay, it makes me itch at the core level because I'm actually greater than people believe. As a Pisces, I know that we're supposed to be these delicate and gentle energies that are always taking on the suffering of other people. Okay, cool, that's great. That's dandy. But what if I just address my own suffering right now? How can I permanently heal that and set up proper boundaries? Because second house is also the first place where boundaries begin. Fourth house is where those boundaries become a little more perfected. A little bit more perfected. They get perfected in the 10th house. But what I'm saying is you're growing right now. You're rising. And you're starting out at that base level. So what you got for us?
So for Pisces, I got the 9 of Wands, which is about defending what's yours, defending the things that matter to you, and again, defending the things that you value. And in this case, it can be as easy as defending your own self, defending your own beliefs, defending this person that you want to become, defending your actual property, your actual physical things, sure. And it's also about, this is the last step. Like, this is the last battle. This is the last battle. This is the last thing that is gonna come before you actually get all your gaining. So it comes right in with what he was saying of focus on what you believe now, focus on what you value now, and the money will come as a result. Like, everything else is gonna come as a result. So right now, I just want you to focus on the things that you value, and this is again something that that needs self-reflection, because maybe it is coming from a fantasy. As everything with the other signs, let's take a time to reflect if what you want is actually what you want, and if it's not what your parents wanted for you, what your siblings wanted for you, what the society wants of you. Like, take this time to actually think, what is my ideal life? What are the ideal relationships that I want to be in? And then when you're ready and you're certain of what it is that you want, what you value, it is time to defend, and it is time to make the last battle before you're gaining into all of your gains.
Because that's what Aries do. Aries fight. Aries is the defender, okay, of the kingdom. The key thing is, understand, this is never about physical violence. Okay, it's just defending your self-worth and defending what it means to respect yourself. That could be as simple as a no to somebody you really love and somebody you really care for. Okay, somebody you're committed to. Just, no, I don't want to go. No, I don't want to eat that. No, I'm not feeling that way right now. No, that's not what I'm thinking. All right. So, ladies and gents, hit the thumbs up, hit the likes button. All right. If you're brand new, subscribe. If you're brand new, subscribe. I want to say thank y'all all for being here. This is a tremendous pleasure. All right. Let us know what you thought and what you felt down below in the chat. We have an all 12 signs coming up collaboration next Thursday with Hannah's Elsewhere and Solar Systems Joe. We're going to be talking more primarily about the new moon. We're going to talk about the good and the ugly, so stay tuned with that. Eileen and myself are going to do this every Friday at the same time. 10 a.m. here in Mexico. I think that's 10 a.m. in Denver. All right. That's 12 noon in Connecticut, New York, Miami. And then that's going to be 9 a.m. in Seattle, California, West Coast. All right. I believe that's 5 p.m. over for my people in Europe, Portugal, Austria, France, 5 p.m. So do mark that down. This was enlightening. That's great. I'm so happy to see, like, family member, saying that this is enlightening. That's a tremendous joy for me, right? This goes to show that Mercury is aunts and uncles and is going through the healing, right? Because I wouldn't imagine that anybody in my family want to hear any of this. If I'm being honest, I'm just like, look, I got to live my life and I do my due. And so for me, this is just a magical time frame. It's the proof that we're all going through a healing journey, because that encourages me that I'm going to continue to walk my path. And this is what Aries is here to do, right? Help us reshape and structure our minds. That's what our retrograde is doing right now. We're retrograding. We're going back. We're rethinking thoughts that we already thought. We're rethinking things that we value, that we already knew we valued, but we skipped it. We're finding ways to respect ourselves. Respect and self-love is one of the major themes. So understand that Eileen and I, we're going to come up with a topic every Friday, the same exact time. And this is a joy. This is a pleasure. This is one of God's missions that we were given. So we're going to go ahead and follow through with it. Checking in from Guadalajara, Mexico. You got anything for the people?
Yay. Thank you so much. I like doing this.
All right, ciao, ladies and gents. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if